One of the most famous Christian paintings will be analysed in this video. Make sure you stay till the end. Today we are going to be looking at the Incredulity of Saint Thomas by Caravaggio, the Italian Baroque master. This painting was painted from 1601 to 1602 and it is painted with oil on canvas. So today we are going to be analysing this iconic painting and personally one of my favourites. So to start, this painting is based off John 20. So if you didn't know already, this is basically in John's Gospel when Jesus has been resurrected. He appears to his disciples and Saint Thomas, and he doesn't really vibe with this, what's going on with Jesus, but yet Jesus shows him his hands and his side and he believes that he is resurrected. In John 20 verses 24 to 29, this is one of my favorite passages in the Bible. So it says this: one of the 12 disciples, Thomas, nicknamed the twin, was not with the others when Jesus came. They told him, "We have seen the Lord." But he replied, "I won't believe it unless I see the nail wounds in his hands, put my fingers into them and place my hand into the wound on his side." So 8 days later, the disciples were together again, and this time Thomas was with them. The doors were locked, but suddenly, as before, Jesus was standing among them. "Peace be with you," he said. Then he said to Thomas, "Put your finger here and look at my hands. Put your hand into the wound on my side. Do not be faithless any longer, believe." "My Lord and my God," Thomas exclaimed. Then Jesus said to him, "You believe because you have seen me. Blessed are those who believe without seeing me." One of my favourite passages in entire scripture. So according to the history of art, I'll have all the source articles linked below in the description. Both Rembrandt and Rubens also painted this particular episode in the 17th century. As with many of Caravaggio's paintings, this one in particular is swamped in theatrical darkness, bringing the central figures of Jesus and his apostles as if lit onto a stage. And I think this is very, very true. This painting, it's very much in darkness and it is making your focus on what is actually happening within the painting, obviously. So also with the absence of a halo around Jesus' head meant it is to emphasize the human nature of Jesus while he was on earth, as well as being fully God and fully man. But I think the artist wanted to really highlight Jesus' humanity. He was one of us. God put on flesh, he put on skin. So that is what he wanted to get at in this particular painting. So when we actually look at this painting, according to Audible, it says that light streams into the image from the left hand side. Jesus is bathed in light, and his white skin and robes are also made to stand out. Thomas's position in the canvas is reinforced by his red clothing and the light shining on it. And David Hockney claims that in this painting, Caravaggio must have traced using a camera obscura because none of the figures all seem to be looking at the wound of Christ, which is quite interesting. And Caravagio's Doubting Thomas was a hugely popular painting, and 22 copies were made in the 17th century alone, which is really, really interesting. A very popular scene to have painted in this particular time period. Baroque is one of my favourite movements in the art. It's a beautiful, beautiful aesthetic, and this one, although it is quite dark, it is quite theatrical in its look. But it's one of my favourites because it's just like that verse in John 20:29 just reinforced, "Blessed are those who have not seen me and yet have believed." So even with this painting, I think we can all relate to the Doubting Thomas. There are times in my own faith where I doubt and I really have to question myself at my core. Do I believe in this stuff? Do I believe that Jesus has really resurrected? You really do find that you can be like a Doubting Thomas sometimes, but I feel with this painting it just revives your faith and it just makes you believe that yes, he is risen, he is alive, and especially coming out of this Easter season and just really living in that victory of what Jesus has won for us on the cross and by dying and rising again. And I think for Christians, every day is Easter. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to give me a wee like and a thumbs up, which are basically the same thing. But be sure to subscribe to my channel down below and let me know what you thought of this video. Do you want me to analyse any more paintings for you guys? And yeah, drop me a comment down below and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!